Hi everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, what I'm going to do is I will walk you through the complete accounting cycle based on real business transactions. So therefore, I'll be covering in this session the following things. First one, the impact on the accounting equation as a result of these transactions. Secondly, how to record these transactions in ledger accounts. Thirdly, how to extract the trial balance based on these ledger balances. Also, I will touch on how to balance off these ledger accounts or the T accounts. Finally, how to prepare the financial statements based on the trial balance, mainly the income statement as well as the balance sheet. So this is what basically I am planning to cover in this session. Now let's dive into the session. Now let's go through the following question. The transaction of Sam's new business in its first week are as follows. Commence business by introducing $1,000 in cash. Second transaction, paid $150 rent in cash. Third, purchased a delivery van for $400 in cash. Fourth transaction, obtained a $1,200 bank loan with a term of 5 years. Fifth one, purchased goods for resale in cash for $300. The final one, sold all the goods purchased for $500 in cash. These are the transactions given. Now let's look at how these transactions will impact our accounting equation. Okay, now let's move on to these transactions and let's see what is the impact on our accounting equation. Our accounting equation is assets equals equity plus liability. According to the fundamental accounting principles, this equation must always balance. Your total assets should match with your total equity plus liability. So every transaction affects at least two accounts. This is known as double entry concept or dual impact. Okay. Now let's look at these transactions and let's see the impact on this accounting equation. The first transaction is commenced business by introducing $1,000 in cash. Now the business owner has invested $1,000 in cash. Now as a result of this transaction, business has received cash. Cash is an asset. So therefore, asset will increase. So I can take this as first transaction, cash is an asset, it will increase by $1,000. Okay, so this is the first impact. Business received cash from its owners. So therefore, from business point of view, business received cash, cash is an asset, asset will increase by $1,000. On the other hand, business has an obligation to pay back this money to its owners. So, any obligation towards the owner is known as equity or capital. So, therefore, the equity will increase by, this is capital, $1,000. So, there is no impact on this liability. Second one, paid $150 rent in cash. Okay, so basically rent is an expense. So any business organization to run its business activities, they need to have an office or place or premises for which they will have to pay a rent. So rent is an expense which company has paid in cash. So therefore, the cash balance business's cash balance will reduce by $150. So what is the impact on the other side? What is the other impact? Since rent is an expense, basically we calculate the business's profit by subtracting all the expenses from its sales. So when you take sales, if you deduct expenses, so that will be either profit or loss. If your sales are more than the expenses, that will be your profit. If your sales are less than expenses, that will be a loss. Okay? So this profit or loss belongs to the owners of the business. Business has an obligation to pay back this profit to the owners of the business. Since business has an obligation, if there is a profit, the obligation towards the owner, the equity will increase. However, if it is a loss, the obligation towards the owners will reduce, the equity will reduce. Now, rent is an expense. Expense will reduce the profit. As a result of that, your equity balance also will reduce by $150. So this is rent expenses, $150. Third transaction, purchased a delivery van for $400 in cash. Okay, the business has purchased a delivery van through cash. So therefore, the cash balance of the business, the third transaction, cash balance will reduce by $400 because cash is an asset. Cash asset will reduce by $400. However, since the company has purchased a delivery van is also an asset. It's a long-term asset. So therefore, the asset will increase again, delivery van, $400. So there is no impact on the equity as well as liability. Now let's take the fourth transaction. Obtain 1,200 bank loan with a term of 5 years. Now the company has obtained a bank loan 1,200. So company will receive cash. So therefore, cash balance will increase by 1,200. And on the other hand, since the business has an obligation towards the bank, it's a liability. So business has to settle this liability. So therefore, the liability will increase, bank loan, $1,200. Okay. Now the fifth transaction, purchase goods for resale in cash for $300. The business has purchased $300 worth of goods in cash. So therefore, your cash balance will reduce by $300. Since company has received goods which is for resale, we call it inventory or stocks. So that balance, inventory balance will also increase by 300. So there is no impact on the other side. Now, sixth and the final transaction, sold all the goods purchased for $500 in cash. Now here, whatever the goods you purchased has been sold for $500. Okay, so when you sell, your inventory balance will reduce. Okay, so here the inventory balance minus, since you have sold your inventory balance will reduce by $300, and the business has received cash. You sold 300 worth of goods for $500, you received cash. So your cash balance will increase $500. Now when you take this, the moment you take the cash and less inventory, so this is plus 500, you received, business received cash, and business sold inventory worth 300. So what is the difference? Which is $200. Now this $200 is the profit, right? So this profit belongs to the owners of the business. Now when you take the profit belongs to the owners, so this will increase, the equity will increase by 200. So thereby we can balance this accounting equation. So both sides will balance. Here the net impact is 200 and that 200 is added. Here 200 plus, 200 plus. So accounting equation will balance. Now in this particular question, I just want to explain this in a different way. Okay, rather than taking this 200 as plus, since I have taken the expenses, I just want to show the sales value here. Now company has sold all the goods purchased for 500. So what is the sale? We had 300 worth of goods, you sold for 500. Okay, that 500 will be your sales. Okay, so when you calculate the profit or loss, you have to subtract all your expenses from your sales. Okay, so therefore when sales increases, your profit will increase. Eventually it belongs to the owner, the equity balance will increase. So therefore instead of profit I will take sales as $500. The moment I take this value 500, your accounting equation will not balance. Why? This side we have added $200 plus $200. However, the other side we have added $500. So what is this difference? This difference is, now basically I will discuss about these two inventory recording system. There are two methods available: perpetual accounting system as well as periodic inventory system. Based on the perpetual inventory accounting system, the moment you make a sale, your inventory balance, that is an asset, inventory goes out of the business, inventory balance will reduce, and it will immediately record that as an expense, that is your cost, as cost of goods sold. That's an expense. Expense will reduce the profit, which is in turn will reduce the equity. So therefore we have to take the cost of goods sold expenses, which is the cost of the goods, which is 300. Okay, so almost all the companies, they apply this, they adopt this perpetual inventory system. If you take any accounting software, so ERP system, you can find this perpetual accounting system where the moment you make a sale, okay, it will reduce the inventory balance and it will recognize the what you call the cost of goods sold. Okay, but previously we used to record, before the introduction of accounting softwares, we used to prepare the financial statement, we used to maintain all the ledger accounts manually. So in this case, what company used to do, they verify, they do a physical verification of the inventories at the end of the period. So they count the stock value, stock units, and they identify the stock value, and that will be taken as closing stock. Whatever the purchases they make, it will be recorded as purchases, and at the end of the period you do a physical verification of stocks. That stocks value will be taken as closing stock, will be reduced from the purchases. That will be the cost of goods sold, right? But nowadays we apply the perpetual inventory system. However, at the end of the financial year, almost all the companies, they do a physical verification of stocks for audit purposes, right? So basically they compare the stocks value with the system balance to do a reconciliation. Okay, so now when you take this sales minus cost of goods sold, which is the difference 200 plus 200, and here plus 200, thereby your accounting equation will balance. So this is the fundamental accounting principle. The accounting equation must always balance, right? So this is the first step in the accounting cycle, as I explained you. Okay, so we identify the impact on the accounting equation as a result of these accounting real business transactions. Okay, now let's move on to the second part, which is how to record these transactions in ledger accounts.